Today's story is about Emma, whose quest for connection on Christmas Eve mirrors what many of us seek.
In the quaint coastal town of Seabreeze, where the ocean's rhythm whispered secrets to those who listened, Emma, an accountant, found herself lost in a sea of her own thoughts. It was Christmas Eve, a time for joy and togetherness, but for Emma, it was just another reminder of the distance she felt from her family and friends. Emma's days were spent crunching numbers, her evenings alone. Despite her efforts to reach out, invitations to coffee or dinner were often met with maybe next time or I'm just too busy right now. The sting of feeling unimportant and forgotten was especially sharp during the holiday season. Walking through the town's festive streets, Emma's gaze fell upon families and friends laughing together, the warmth of their joy contrasting sharply with the cold she felt inside. Why am I always the one reaching out? She wondered. Doesn't anyone think of me? Her path led her to the town's main street, adorned with twinkling lights and holiday cheer. Among the merriment, a figure huddled in a corner caught her eye. A homeless man, wrapped in a threadbare blanket, his eyes reflecting a story untold. Something stirred within Emma. Perhaps it was the Christmas spirit, or maybe a reflection of her own loneliness, but she found herself approaching the man. "Merry Christmas," she said, her voice a mix of hesitation and kindness. The man looked up, his eyes meeting hers. "Thank you," he replied, his voice surprisingly warm. "I'm Emma," she said, extending her hand. "John," he smiled, accepting the gesture. A thought crossed Emma's mind. "Would you like to join me for a hot meal? There's a cozy cafe just around the corner." John's eyes widened, a mix of surprise and gratitude. "I'd like that very much." As they sat in the cafe, sipping warm drinks and sharing a hearty meal, Emma found herself opening up about her feelings of being unloved and neglected. "We're alike, you and I," she said. "Alone, even amidst all these people." John listened intently, his expression thoughtful. "I understand how you feel, Emma, but I see it differently. You see every small act of kindness like what you're doing for me right now. It's a reminder that love and care still exist. I may not have a family, but the compassion of strangers like you fills my heart." Emma paused, John's words sinking in. She realized her focus had always been on what she didn't receive, blinding her to the joy of giving. "You're right, John. Maybe it's not about what I get, but what I give." Leaving the cafe, Emma felt a change within her. The conversation with John had lit a spark, altering her perspective. That night, she called her family and friends, not to lament her loneliness, but to express her love and to offer help and company. Surprisingly, many reciprocated, sharing their own struggles and appreciating her reaching out. Christmas Day dawned bright and hopeful. Emma hosted a small get-together, her home filled with laughter and warmth for the first time in years. She realized that by giving her time and attention, she was receiving the connection she longed for. John's words stayed with her long after the holidays. She began volunteering at a local shelter, finding fulfillment in helping those in need. Her relationships blossomed, grounded in the joy of giving rather than the expectation of receiving. As Emma walked the same festive streets the following Christmas, she reflected on the year gone by. The loneliness that once clouded her heart was replaced by a network of love and support, woven through her acts of kindness. Looking at her reflection in a store window, adorned with Christmas lights, she saw a woman transformed, no longer a seeker of affection, but a giver of warmth. In giving, she had indeed received, her heart now as full as the ocean in her beloved Seabreeze town.
And so we close the pages of our story today. If you've found a spark of joy or inspiration in our story, join us for many more. Click follow, hit subscribe, and become a part of our Happyble community. And remember, you are the author of your own Happyble ever after. Write it with joy. Live it with passion. Keep creating your happiness narrative.